The show must go on. How the ego makes you perform. Even when you're dying inside, the ego doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're sick. It doesn't care if you're collapsing behind your smile. It only cares that the show goes on. And that is the ego's mantra. The show must go on. It demands continuity. It demands motion. It demands that you keep producing, keep performing, keep pretending. Even if the part you're playing is killing you. You see this everywhere. In sports, if you're hurt, you better get back out there. Sprain your ankle, tape it up. Got the flu? Play through it. Have a concussion? Shake it off. Why? Because sitting down makes people uncomfortable. Suffering in silence earns you a badge. And quitting makes them forget your name. You only get respect if you can perform while bleeding. That's the twisted reward system. People don't admire healing. They admire survival. But only if you keep smiling through it. The ego system runs on rewards and punishments. Plain and simple. At first, it encourages you to try harder. Keep going. Push yourself. Grind. Then you get good at something. You start dominating. Suddenly, the same crowd that cheered you on starts whispering, "It's time for someone else to win now." Because in the ego's world, there is no such thing as enough. Dominate too long, and they'll tear you down. Stay mediocre, and they won't even look at you. You have to thread the needle. Be great, but not too great. Shine, but don't blind. Win, but not for too long. But mediocrity? That has no reward in this system. So what's left? Performance. Even the people with everything feel it. They sit in their penthouses whispering, "Now what?" They want to say, "I'm tired, I'm done," but they can't. Because they know the moment they stop performing, the image begins to rot. And the ego can't survive without the image. People won't ask, "Are you okay?" They'll ask, "What's next?" You open 2 stores? They want to know when the 3rd is coming. You win 2 trophies? They want to know when the next one drops. God forbid you slow down. God forbid your light dims. Now they're whispering, "Have you seen him lately?" She's let herself go. He used to be on top. And here's the cruel undertow. They'll smile and say, "So proud of you, you're a fighter." She's a comeback queen. He's a warrior. But underneath it, the ego in them is whispering, "I'm glad it's not me." They're not admiring you. They're admiring the fact that you're still pretending, because if you can keep pretending, they don't have to face the lie they're living. So the man keeps showing up. He just got laid off from his warehouse manager job of 20 years. But he posts a picture with the caption, "Still grinding." The woman just found out her husband of 25 years left her for someone half her age. But she's got her lashes done and her lips plumped, posting selfies that say, "Thriving." He just walked out of the ER with pneumonia. But he's jogging for the gram, because you don't get points for stopping. You get applause for collapsing in rhythm. And that's the great illusion. You think you're earning respect, but you're just feeding a machine that will never love you back. The ego will give you a little to keep you invested. And sometimes it'll give you a lot, but it'll never give you rest. Because rest doesn't serve the story. Even the rich man, like even the champion, like even the boss, they can't stop. Not because they need more, but because if they stop now, they're afraid it'll all come undone. Not the money, not the platform, but the identity they built around it. Because if they're not who they were, then who are they? This is the real scam. The con artist isn't out there. It's not the ex, not the boss, not the friend who ghosted. It's the voice inside that says, "Keep going or disappear." And that voice isn't interested in your peace. It's interested in your performance. That voice will convince you that pain is noble if you smile through it. That silence is strength if it keeps you mysterious. That success is healing if people are still clapping. But peace doesn't need an audience. Truth doesn't need a hustle. And freedom doesn't need a filter. You can stop now. Not because you lost, not because you're weak, but because the show was never real to begin with. The spotlight was fake. The applause was automated. The audience, mostly scared people, hoping you'd keep the act going, so they wouldn't have to confront their own script. But now you know. The ego's motto is, "The show must go on." But truth whispers something softer. You don't have to play anymore.